Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another summery look for you, very orangey and colorful, and I've used an amazing palette from Viseart, which is the dark matte eyeshadow palette, and I love it. It's so good. I think it's the best one I've ever used, but I'm going to show you in my tutorial how it looks and how it performs. To prime the eyelids, I'm using a full coverage concealer from Kiko in the shade 2, and I'm also covering the inner part of the eye where I have a bit of darkness and shadows. Then I'm setting that into place with the Laura Mercier powder, and I am using a Zoeva 228 brush. To fill in my eyebrows, I'm using a drawing eyebrow pencil from Etude House in the shade 4, and this is perfect for me because it has that greyish brown color. I also love it because it's super slim, this one, and you can do hair strokes with it, and the quality of it is very nearly as the Anastasia Beverly Hills ones, for example, and the price point is, well, lower. And now I'm going to use the start of this look, definitely, because it's just an amazing palette, this one, the dark matte palette from Viseart. So I took first the orange shade, which is my transition shade. Today I'm going to do a very warm look, so this is perfect for that. And then I took this eyeshadow to deepen up the crease area and the outer corner of my eye. The brush I'm using for this step is a 231 from Zoeva. So as I've said in my intro, this must be the best matte palette I've ever used in my life. And I'm not saying this lightly because I've tried out so many brands, so many, eyeshadows, palettes, finishes they might have, whatever. This is the best one, you can trust me. For the past 2 weeks I've played with this palette. I came up with many looks. I think it's very versatile, especially if you love your mattes. The only thing I would have done differently with this palette, I would have included a matte black. I think that would have been perfect. But there's no problem. They do have matte black, and well, I have to just keep buying from them, I guess. I'm using now my favorite color from the palette, which is a red orange, a very beautiful color, and I'm also using a Zoeva lip contour brush, a 330. You can see here my face. I'm so happy. I'm in my happiness bubble. So this color goes over the center of the eye, the middle part, and I'm also buffing out the edges as I go. And for the inner part of the eye, I'm using a yellow eyeshadow from Essence. It's called Dare to Shine. Now this is also a matte eyeshadow, and it's working okay, but the difference between them is just ginormous. Oh, and by the way, this is not a paid video. I'm not being paid to say anything about the Viseart palette. It's just my honest opinion about it. So now I'm going over the edges with the same red orange, and believe it or not, I didn't dip this brush into the color again. I just used what was left on it. So it's clear for everyone that I have found my Holy Grail palette, or brand I should say, because I'm guessing all their products are this good. And now moving on to the eyeliner, I'm using a super liner from L'Oreal in Intense Black, and I'm doing like a medium-sized flake with this. And also the line along the lash line is going to be quite thin, on the thinner side, because I don't want to steal the show from the eyeshadows. For mascara, I'm going to use this Mega Volume Baby Roll one from L'Oreal in black. And I remember when they first came out with this, I wasn't that impressed with it. I don't know why. And this time when I used it, I was like, okay, yep, this is good. This is not a waterproof mascara, but it acts like one because I tested it. Oh yeah, I slept in this makeup. I basically lived in this makeup the whole day, and it didn't smudge underneath the eyes at all. For my inner corner highlighter and also underneath the brow, I'm using my favorite shimmery eyeshadow from Art Deco in the shade 27. And they don't seem to do this anymore. I can't find it anywhere on their website at least, and it's just a shame because it's a gorgeous eyeshadow, and as a face highlighter I'm using it all the time. It's so shimmery, but it's not sparkly, not glittery, and I love that. My lashes are from the House of Lashes for a change, and they are the type Iconic Light. I'm now going to leave the eyes and I'm going to move on to the base and do the eyes later. So I'm applying now a face primer from Benefit. It's that gal. My foundation is from NYC. It's the Smooth Skin Foundation in the shade Classic Beige, and I must say I love this one. I've used it for the past, I think, 3 months, and I've applied it with my beauty blender, with my Morphe brush, with other applicators, and it's just the finish of it. It's beautiful. For concealer, I'm using the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer in the shade Medium, and I love this one. You all know if you've followed me for a while. You can see for yourself how little I'm using and actually how much it is. It's just very thick, very covering, and it's also not drying underneath the eyes, which is always a bonus in my book. If you use too much of this very close to the lash line where, you know, the fine lines are, it might crease on you, so just be aware that you need to use the right amount, you need to blend it well and also set it right away. But that still doesn't mean that it's not a good product. It's one of the best, as I've said, but it needs the right application. So I'm first blending it out with a concealer brush from Japanesque, and then I'm going to take a beauty blender to smooth out any edges I might have left. Sorry for the red eye, guys. It just happened some time after putting the lashes on. I don't know why. It may be the adhesive or maybe the lash stabbed me in the eye. I don't know. After blending the concealer, I need to set that area right away, as I've said, with the same Laura Mercier powder. I'm using the same beauty blender, which is dampened, and I am not baking underneath the eyes. I am just pressing a bit more powder into my skin than I normally do. So I'm doing this just on the areas where I've applied my concealer because I don't want it to crease on me and to move around. And on the rest of my face, I'm just going to take a face brush from Real Techniques. I'm going to be using next a Back to Bronze bronzer from L'Oreal in Sun Kiss. And just for you to see the difference between that and the Hoola bronzer, this one is lighter in color, but it's not so warm. It's a bit more cool, but I think I'm going to love it even more than I do in winter time. The fact that the color of it is more neutral, it makes it perfect to contour also underneath the cheekbone and the nose. It's not very warm, it's not too cool, so something in between is always good. I mean for contouring as well, of course. The brush I'm using here is a Flawless face brush from Bare Minerals. From the Nip and Fab Travel palette, I'm going to take first that shade, which is like a bronzy one, but for me it's a bit too cool, so I'm going to just contour with it. And I am also going to use the BT Loom Tools brush for this, the 945. With the same Bare Minerals brush, I am applying then the blusher. I like to put my blusher a bit above the uppers of my cheeks and then just swipe it a bit towards the ears. The highlighter comes next, and I'm also using a fan brush from Zoeva. For the nose contour, I took a brush, the 217 from MAC, and also the bronzer from L'Oreal. Then I'm swiping the orangey color underneath the eye across the whole lash line. I'm using here a pencil brush from Zoeva. Next, I'm taking the red-orange color and I'm not going too much downwards with it. I'm keeping it a bit more tighter to the lash line. But this completes the look quite beautifully. It's going to give that summery, fiery vibe, and I love this color. It's my favorite from the whole palette. For the lower lashes, I am using a waterproof mascara from MAC, the Extended Play Mascara in black. In the waterline, I am using a Stila Smudge Stick waterproof eyeliner in the shade Sienna, which is like a reddish brown. For tight lining, I am using the Black Track Gel Eyeliner from MAC. And the brush is a Da Vinci Basic Eye Brush in the number 4522. For the lips, I am using a matte ink liquid lipstick from Maybelline in the shade Seductress. This range is my favorite for the moment. I had a hard time deciding what shade I should use. I was very close to use like a wine red instead of this, but I changed my mind at the last moment and I'm very happy with my choice. So guys, this was my tutorial. I really hope you liked it. As always, if you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. That really helps me a lot, and also subscribe to my channel, that also helps. And follow me on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook and on VERO because I'm there. Until next week, stay safe. Mwah! Bye bye.